Welcome to What's Math. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, and share my videos. This video will focus on linear inequalities, compound linear inequalities with an emphasis on OR. Solving compound linear inequalities. Here are some facts that we need to keep in mind. The word OR means all solution sets. The word AND means what they have in common, so the overlapping shaded region. Step 1. Get rid of the fraction. Step 2. Solve. Step 3. The number tells you the point. Step 4. The side of the inequality sign facing the variable tells you where to shade. Now I'm putting it as a V so we can not focus on if it's greater than or less than. Just note that the open mouth gets a R, which means to shade to the right, and the pointed tip gets an L, which means to shade to the left. Step 5. The inequality sign tells you if it's a parentheses or a bracket. If it's a less than or greater than, use a parentheses. If it's a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, use a bracket. Solve the compound inequality. 6x plus 3 is less than or equal to negative 21, or 6x plus 3 is greater than or equal to negative 3. Let's remind ourselves of the rules. Let's go ahead and solve the first one. 6x plus 3 is less than or equal to negative 21. It's just like a normal equation, so we're going to use undo operation or opposite operation. We need to isolate the variable, so we are going to do the opposite of plus 3, which is to subtract 3 from both sides. So 6x is less than or equal to negative 24. To get rid of the coefficient, we need to divide, because the 6x means 6 times x. So divide both sides by 6. X is less than or equal to negative 4. Let's go ahead and solve the second one. 6x plus 3 is greater than or equal to negative 3. We're going to do undo operation again, so therefore we're going to subtract 3 from both sides. 6x is greater than or equal to negative 6. Divide both sides by 6. Therefore, x is greater than or equal to negative 1. Now we need to construct our number line. Every number line starts with negative infinity and ends with positive infinity. We have two solutions, so therefore we need to have 2 points on the number line. The first one is negative 4, and the second one will be negative 1. It is important that you put the numbers on the number line in numerical order from least to greatest. Let's analyze the negative 4. Looking at the inequality sign, the pointed tips gets the N, the L, and the open mouth gets the R. The variable gets the side that has the L, so that means I need to shade everything to the left of negative 4. Let's look at the negative 1. If I should label the inequality sign, the open mouth gets the R and the pointed tip gets the L. In this case, the variable gets the side with the R. That means I need to shade everything to the right of negative 1. When we analyze the negative 4, it was less than or greater than. That means I need to use a bracket. And it's important that the bracket is open towards the shading. With a negative 1, it was a greater than or equal to. So once again, we need to use a bracket. To put this all together in set notation is where it starts to where it ends. And because there are two pieces, we need to unite both p's with the u. So his first piece starts at negative infinity, which is a parentheses, and it ends at negative 4, which is a bracket. Remember, negative infinity and positive infinity is always a parentheses. Now to get to the next piece, we need to have the u. The next piece starts at negative 1 with a bracket and ends with positive infinity, which is a parentheses. And that's your final answer. Example. Solve the compound inequality 4x plus 2 is greater than negative 18, or 7x plus 5 is less than or equal to negative 16. Let's remind ourselves of the rules. The first one, 4x plus 2 is greater than negative 18. We're going to use undo operation once more. So subtract 2 from both sides. 4x is greater than negative 20. Divide both sides by 4. X is therefore greater than negative 5. Let's do the second one. 7x plus 5 is less than or equal to negative 16. We need to get rid of that positive 5 by using a negative 5. So we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. 7x is less than or equal to negative 21. Divide both sides by 7. X is therefore less than or equal to negative 3. Then we want to construct our number line. Remember, your number line starts with negative infinity and ends with positive infinity. We have two solutions, so therefore we need to have 2 points on the number line. The first one will be negative 5. The second one is negative 3. Make sure that you put the points on the number line in numerical order from least to greatest. Let's analyze the negative 5. It's greater than, and the open mouth gets an R, and the pointed tip gets an L. In this case, the variable gets a side with an R, which means I need to shade everything to the right of negative 5. Let's look at the one with the negative 3. The pointed tip gets an L, the open mouth gets the R. In this case, the variable gets the side with the L, meaning that I should shade everything to the left of negative 3. If you take a good look and you analyze the line, there is no break in the line. The entire line is shaded. As a result, we cannot use any parentheses or bracket within the line. So therefore, it starts at negative infinity and it ends at positive infinity. So my answer would be negative infinity, comma, positive infinity, and we're using parentheses for both because for negative infinity and infinity, it has to stay open. And remember, parentheses mean that it's open. And that's your final answer. Check for understanding. Solve the compound inequality 7x plus 3 is less than or equal to negative 11, or 3x plus 5 is greater than or equal to 29. Solution. Solve the compound inequality 7x plus 3 is less than or equal to negative 11, or 3x plus 5 is greater or equal to 29. Let's remind ourselves of the rules. Okay, let's go ahead and solve the first one. 7x plus 3 is less than or equal to negative 11. First, we want to remove the 3 by doing an undo operation, so we subtract 3 from both sides. 7x is less than or equal to negative 14. Divide both sides by 7. x is less than or equal to -2. Let's go ahead and solve the second one. 3x plus 5 is greater or equal to 29. First, we want to subtract 5 from both sides. 3x is greater or equal to 24. Divide both sides by 3. So x is greater or equal to 8. We're going to construct our number line. Remember, every number line starts with negative infinity and ends with positive infinity. They have two solutions, so we need to put 2 points on the number line. The first one will be -2, and the second one will be +8. Remember, it's important that you put them on the number line in numerical order from least to greatest. Let's analyze the inequality with a -2. If we're looking at the inequality sign, the small tip gets the L, the open mouth gets the R, and in this case, the variable gets the side with an L, so that means I need to shade everything to the left of -2. Let's analyze the inequality with the +8. The open mouth gets the R, the pointing tip gets the L, and in this case, the variable gets a side with the R. That means I shade everything to the right of +8. The inequality with a -2 is a less than or equal to, so therefore I need to use a bracket. The inequality with a +8 is a greater than or equal to, so I also need to use a bracket. To put it in set notation, remember, is where it starts and where it ends. And since there are more than one shading, we have to use the U to unite them. So the first piece starts at -infinity and ends at -2 with a bracket. Remember, negative infinity and positive infinity are always a parentheses. You got to leave it open. Bringing a U to unite both pieces. The second part starts at +8 with a bracket and ends with positive infinity with a parentheses. And that was the answer. Please don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell for a notification. Like and share my videos. If you like what you saw in this video, please feel free to buy me a cup of coffee. It's not mandatory. Thank you in advance.